So it's Friday, or at least it's Friday while I'm recording this, and hopefully I'll actually get it uploaded on Friday, but if I don't, let's just still pretend that it's Friday. And because it's Friday, that means that it is, in fact, time for a rant. And if you know anything about what's been happening at Bowling Green for the past couple weeks, then you probably know exactly what this rant is going to be about. But in case you don't, I'll give you a little background. Here at BGSU, our wonderful president has decided to cut 100 faculty members. She claims this will in no way affect the education of her students, and that it's to save the college money. And I just want to address this in what I'm sure will be a calm and orderly fashion. President Mazey, this idea is complete and utter bullshit. Pardon my language. Let's just go ahead and look at that first thing that I mentioned, this whole idea that it won't affect the education of the college. Tell me, President Mazey, have you ever been a college student, or any student of any kind? Has it seriously been long enough that you've been a student that you've seriously forgotten the difference between a small class and a large class? I'm going to go ahead and use just a few personal examples to make my point known. I am a theater major, so I've taken many a theater class, and in many cases the theater classes are smaller. And in most cases I can usually tell you what we talked about in each class because it is a smaller class, and so I've actually retained what we've talked about. Also, they're theater classes, so they're kind of important to my major, but I like to think that a lot of it is also because of the class size. For example, I had a class last semester where there was only 14 of us. So I really think I learned a lot in that class, and I never once skipped class because I actually felt like I was accomplishing things going. And now let's go ahead and look at another class, a class that I had last year, which was a geology class, and it was a gigantic lecture hall. And to be perfectly honest, I really don't even remember what the class was about. I think it was Life Through Time, but I honestly couldn't tell you right now. I don't remember a thing that I learned in that class. Because it was a gigantic lecture hall and she never took attendance, so to be perfectly honest, I skipped a lot. And even when I was in the class, I spent most of the time on the computer. And despite all that, I still got a B in that class. The point that I'm trying to make here is that I learned nothing in the gigantic lecture hall. I remember nothing about that class. I remember who the teacher was, and I remember we had lab, but that's all I remember. Whereas with the smaller classes, I remember so much more. So what's the point of me talking about this? Well, aside from cutting 100 faculty members, there's also going to be an influx of students. So not only are we going to be losing faculty members, we're going to be gaining a large amount of students. So because we have less faculty and more students, that means we have to increase the class sizes. So there'll be more giant lecture classes, those classes where I learned literally nothing. But I'm sure it won't affect education at all. No. But let's go ahead and address that other issue. It will save the college money. Now, I'm not going to deny that saving money is important. I mean, colleges do kind of need money to function. They wouldn't be able to be colleges very well if they didn't have money. Now, this may sound like a completely crazy idea, President Mazey, so please stop me if this stops making sense, but instead of cutting faculty members, why don't you, I don't know, not give yourself a raise? Seriously, you're already making over $300,000, but you felt it necessary to give yourself a raise? And who knows, maybe she's not the one who gives herself raises. I don't know how that works, but somebody thought it was a good idea to give her a raise. You have done nothing to warrant yourself getting a raise. You've done nothing for the college, you've done nothing for the faculty, you've done nothing for the students. So why the hell are you getting a raise almost right before you decide you're going to cut 100 faculty? And not only did she get a raise, she also got a $50,000 bonus. And the reason why I'm not focusing on that so much is because she did donate that bonus to charity, which is good. I'm not denying that. Still, she gave herself a raise, or somebody gave her a raise, and now is deciding, oh wait, we need to save money. I know, let's cut faculty. President Mazey, I don't know if you know this about the college that you're president of, but we pride ourselves in the fact that we're an education school. We're also an art school, which I personally hold near and dear to my heart because, you know, theater major, but we pride ourselves on being an education school. We pride ourselves in creating teachers that go out into the world and teach other students. But that's not going to happen if future teachers can't be taught by present teachers. And if you cut 100 faculty, that's going to make teaching these future teachers just a bit more difficult. Because, newsflash, because apparently you don't realize this, big classes are not a good way to teach students. So, President Mazey, it's highly doubtful that you're actually watching this because I don't think you give a crap about what anybody else says. But I hope you pay attention to these words, and I hope you pay attention to the large amount of alumni who are no longer giving you money because of this stupid and idiotic decision that you're making. I hope you take heed to all of this money no longer coming in because everybody besides you thinks this is a bad decision. And I hope that you realize that this is a stupid and idiotic decision and you actually don't go through with it. And if you're not realizing all of this, then I hope you won't be president anymore. Because honestly, if you don't care about the teachers and you don't care about the students, then you don't care about this university anymore. And I don't know about anybody else, but I don't want somebody who doesn't care for the university to be president of this university. So please, either listen or go away. I'll be leaving a link to a variety of different stories about this event down in the doobly-doo so that you yourself can read about it. And yeah, that's basically all I have to say today. So I will see all of you later, where I hopefully won't be as angry. See you then.